Bemi here, and welcome to hopefully a new series where I go room by room in my rental apartment and hopefully turn it into a home. I've definitely struggled with turning my apartments and rentals that I've lived in into like actual homes. My thought is always, well, I'm gonna leave eventually, why do anything? But it's kind of taken a toll on my soul and I want a home. So what I'm gonna do is show you guys some DIYs, some inspiration, and how the entire look has come together. And without further ado, this first episode is the bathroom makeover. So first things first, you are going to need a paintbrush. Any will do. And some paint. I believe mine was just regular old watercolors. Something to put your paint in. A glass of water to wash off your paintbrush, or add water to the watercolor, a pencil, some paper, and picture frames. I actually ended up painting my picture frames gold even though I didn't record it, so just know that you can also change the color of your picture frames. So take out some paper. You will also need scissors if I didn't already mention that. Use the backing of the picture frame to measure out what size of paper you need. Just take your pencil, mark that out, and then cut that out with your scissors. Now use your pencil to sketch out whatever words you want. I went with inhale and exhale. Be sure to do this in pencil first in case you mess anything up like I did and you need to erase it. Now we're gonna go ahead and paint these. I'm just using, no real technique, to be honest. Just go ahead and go for it. I wanted a little bit more of like an organic feel, so it looks very like sketchy, which I kind of like. Here we are sort of sprucing it up, making it look a little bit more sketchy. Once those are dry, you can go ahead and pop them into your picture frame. I recommend if you're going to paint your picture frame, do it before you put your artwork in. And now we can hang them on the wall. I am using 2 boards, the length of the shelving that I would like, some vinegar stain, the recipe I found on Pinterest, something to apply that stain with, some sandpaper, some brackets so we can put them on the wall, and a screwdriver. I recommend using a drill. I just didn't have the right drill bit, unfortunately. Go ahead and sand down any sharp or pointy edges, anything that might be splintery. Just get that out of there. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my vinegar stain on this. If I can find the recipe that I used, I guess I'll link the Pinterest article. I literally just put steel wool and vinegar, to be honest. Anyway, I gave this about 2 coats. I completely coated both of the boards in its entirety so that when you look at it from every angle, it looks good. So here I am marking in from either side about 2.5-ish inches, and that's where I'm going to put the brackets. Here you'll notice I have it stood up on my table so that I know the bracket will be flush with the wall and the shelf. So I would recommend doing that just to make sure that it lines up with the wall flat. And I'm just marking with a pencil where the bracket holes are, so when it shifts around I can line it back up. And then just go ahead and put those screws in there, and then you are ready to put this bad boy on the wall. Grab some fabric, whatever you can find. I just grabbed an old curtain from a thrift store. This is actually shelf liner. You could probably get the rug gripper stuff. Scissors. I have fabric scissors, regular scissors. I used binder clips. This will be helpful if you have thick, shitty fabric. Something to mark out the size of the fabric you need. So here I'm just cutting down the shelf liner that I used to the appropriate size that I would like. It was nice because all the little squares make it easy to keep it in a straight line. Now I was just making sure that it was all squared up. Then take your fabric, lay it out, put your shelf liner on your fabric, and take your utensil. If you're using thick fabric like this, I would say probably use a Sharpie, and then mark all the way around, cut that out. I cut about 3/4 to an inch around for a little bit of extra play, just in case anything got weird, and go ahead and cut that all out. Now line that back up with your markings. Take the edges, flip them over, and clip them. This will just hold it in place for when we sew it. I'm using a sewing machine, but if you don't have one, you could definitely hand stitch this. You could also use the hem tape, which is like a fusible interfacing, and you can just iron it. I don't know how well it would hold up, but that's definitely something you could do as well. So I sewed down the long edges first, and then folded over the short edges to keep a relatively clean edge on this, just because I didn't want it to look super homemade, you know what I'm saying? And then I just went ahead and finished stitching the edges down, and I am ready to slap that in the bathroom. You will need 2 pieces of 1x4s, the width of your tub, 2 little 1x1 blocks to stop it from sliding around, something to measure your boards with, a hammer, nails for that hammer, some of my trusty vinegar stain, something to apply that stain with, some sandpaper, some sort of a clear coating polyurethane. This I don't even think keeps all that much moisture out, but I used it anyway, and a pencil. So for this, I do not recommend doing what I did. I don't know what I did. My measurements were super off. I found the center and then I just marked out 11 inches from the center, but that ended up not fitting. I recommend actually putting your board across your bathtub and then marking with a pencil where the sides of your tub are on the board so you know where to put your little blocks. And I would recommend putting them maybe like an inch or so toward the center of your board so that there's a little bit of wiggle room, because mine just super didn't fit. So what I did now, once you have all of your measurements complete, take your little 1x1 piece or your 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch piece. I started 4 nails in it just to make it a little bit easier so I wasn't fumbling, and then just hammering those right into the 2 boards to keep them together. If you want to keep it a little, I don't know, extra strong, maybe glue your little chunk of wood down and then put nails in it. Then I'm just going to go ahead, put some of my vinegar stain on this. I think I ended up putting like 3-ish coats, and I let it dry in between each coat. Now I'm just going ahead and coating this in my clear spray. It's been holding up pretty well. I think I put about 3 coats on this, so it's not super shiny or anything, but I did also get matte finish. Anyway, once this is dry, you are ready to put that in your bathroom. You will need a mat. I recommend not using a bathtub mat, but an actual outdoor mat. You will need some rocks, maybe get bigger rocks than my pebbles, E6000 glue, some scissors if you need to cut your mat down. And I ended up cutting the trimming off of this. Also, you'll see that I made a little bit more of a natural edge at the end. If you want it in a different shape than a rectangle, I recommend doing that first. So I started out putting glue on the rocks, gluing them down, and it took too long, so you'll notice that I have some larger rocks in there to sort of speed up the process. And I finished it off with some hot glue. Doesn't look great, but what can you do? It's doing its job. Here is the final look of the bathroom. Simple, I know, but I think it gets the vibe across. All right, you guys, there you have it, the bathroom makeover. Now my bathroom is zen and peaceful and I'll actually want to be in there and take baths in there. It's gonna be a whole thing and I'm super excited. If you guys would like to continue seeing this series, or if you want to continue seeing anything else on my channel, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out, and hit that bell notification, I guess, if you want to know when I upload, or, you know, you can do whatever. I'm not your mom. I can't tell you what to do. But anyways, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I really super duper appreciate it. If you guys have any comments, tips, tricks, or suggestions, be sure to leave them in the comment section below. You can also hit me up on Instagram and Twitter at missdemibobemi. And I'll see you little cuties in the next one. Bye!